says here, it means to give rise to. To give rise to. So this is example sentence. The unexpected flooding in the city spawned the construction of high-rise apartment buildings. You could substitute the word caused, but it means it kind of grew out of that situation. Because actually the word can be used with animals and like, I'm not sure if it's more like some spiders or something can spawn. It kind of means make a lot of babies, right? So to come out of that nest or to come out of that mother or it just means to spawn. It kind of means to create babies.
You're not using for 2x, 1x.
It does kind of have a connotation that it's more than one. Like that's why I said spiders or some insects or something like that. I don't see it commonly used with just like one baby or two babies or something, because it does, in our example sentence here, the unexpected flooding in the city spawned the construction of high-rise apartment buildings. That's many things, right? So it is usually used with like that. If we will see how it is used later in the writing. I'm looking for it right now, but it's always hard to find it. So we'll talk about that one when we see it in the story. Number 2, shroud. Shroud means to hide, cover, conceal. It is used as a verb. Mina shrouds her true identity, hides, covers her true identity. It can also be a noun, to have a shroud. It could be physically, like some actual type of curtain, or it could be figuratively, has some shroud with, if you're hiding your identity, you are using some fake information as a shroud. So it can be a noun. It just means to hide. Shrouded in mystery is how they use it in our thing. The true origin of Halloween is still shrouded in mystery, hidden. And number 3, wreak havoc. Wreak havoc kind of means to cause havoc, and havoc means trouble, but it's heavier than trouble. It's havoc. What is another better word? Complete disorder and trouble, and there's another word that I'm looking for. A lot of crazy stuff is going on. It's havoc. It's a real crazy situation. And
it's like disaster?
Similar to the word disaster. Disaster sounds more like a single thing and a single event. Havoc is more just to describe the situation, and it is it's not a good thing. Number 4, purgatory. I'd be interested. I'm curious. Has anyone ever heard of purgatory? No. Okay. This is strictly from a religious thing, and it's, as far as I know, Catholic. I grew up Christian. I would always go to church every weekend with my mother, and as far as I know, most Christian, and when I say Christian, I mean Protestant, non-Catholics do not believe in purgatory. But I'm not Catholic, so I don't want to say all Catholics believe this. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's a Catholic thing. And it is the idea that when you die, you don't go straight to heaven. There's like a place where you gotta wait there. I think, okay, the really good people, yeah, you go to heaven immediately. And the really bad people, yeah, you go to hell immediately. But maybe normal people go to purgatory. It's like a place where you wait or have like a second chance or something like that. I'm not Catholic, so I'm not 100% exactly sure how long are they there, what is this place like, who exactly goes to this place. but you can see it in some media, like I've seen it in some movies and places like that.
Is this word is different from hell? I thought you said.
No, very different. Very different. Purgatory is where it's kind of like you go there and almost like a second chance, you know. If again, I'm not 100% sure because I'm not Catholic, so I didn't study this stuff. But
I think whenever their children donate the money or to the church, then they believe their ancestors go to
heaven.
Yeah.
It might
So
have
before,
that.
so before either heaven or
Yeah, it's a kind of before they have not yet decided. And I don't think everyone goes there. I think it's just kind of the people who are in the middle, maybe. And number 5, don. Don means to put on or to wear. Another word, actually, sometimes they use is to sport. To sport something means to don something, to wear something. It is usually used. You used it pretty much perfectly with the Wimbledon, to don their Wimbledon attire. It's often used with something a little more fashionable, a little more fancy. He's donning this sport coat, this nice, something like that. You would not say, or it's not common to say, he's donning sweatpants and t-shirt like that. It's usually used for something more than that. I think here they use it with costumes, right? It's probably how they use it. So costumes are something pretty special that you don't normally wear.
It's not just formal.
Well, they use it for costumes, right? So Halloween costumes aren't necessarily formal, but they are special, I guess. Number 6, appease. To appease someone means to give them what they want, to calm them, to quiet them, to appease them. Maybe you might appease your mother or father if they say, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Okay, you stop doing it. Even you want to do it, maybe smoking cigarettes, okay? Your mother really doesn't like that you smoke cigarettes, but you quit just to appease your mother, just to quiet her, just to make her happy, like that. It's kind of not for yourself. However, you could say to appease your mind, possibly. To appease your mind. You go hiking alone or something like that, so you could use it like that. It's much more common to use it to appease somebody else. And I think that's how they used it in the reading. Unless, of course, they were appeased through offerings and rituals. The ghosts, the souls of the dead are appeased by those offerings and rituals, right? The people who are alive are appeasing them by giving them something. And number 7, ward off. Ward off means to keep away, to prevent. Garlic can ward off the vampire, right? A scarecrow. Do you know scarecrow? Does anyone know scarecrow? Nobody knows scarecrow? Do you know Wizard of Oz? Dorothy?
Yeah, Dorothy.
Her 3 friends are the lion, the tin man, and the scarecrow. Now, do you know scarecrow?
Which bird? Crow.
Maybe you don't know Wizard of Oz. You
Wizard
said
of
you know Wizard of Oz.
Dorothy.
Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz, the famous.
The teen.
She's a young girl, teenage girl,
Yeah, right.
maybe. When she goes to Oz, she makes 3 friends: the cowardly lion, who has no
Lion.
courage,
Right.
the tin man, who has no heart, and the scarecrow has no brain. You don't know?
허수아비.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Scarecrow, the birds. The crows want to come eat the crops, so they put up the fake person made of straw or something like that. So a scarecrow wards off birds to keep them away. That's a perfect example. Or the garlic is another perfect example. Wards off vampires. So this all. But here you can also say President Reyes simply wards off all the negative publicity about him, maybe through his publicists, through his press strategy like that, so you can ward off negative publicity. It doesn't have to be something physically warding off, but that's probably the more common use of the word. I think they say ward off ghosts, or evil spirits, right, to keep them away. That's the more common use, to ward off vampires, birds, evil spirits, but you could use it, like I said, to ward off negative publicity or to ward off paparazzi or something like that. And number 8, vengeance. This is pretty much simply the noun. Well, revenge is also a noun. So it's very similar to the word revenge. It's more the act of taking revenge would maybe be how it is defined. She wanted vengeance for the betrayal. Many times you can simply swap the word vengeance and revenge, and no one is really going to know the difference. If I had to say the difference, it would maybe be vengeance is the act of taking revenge, and revenge is more like the feeling. If I had to say, but they're quite similar. If we see how they use it in here, like I said, searching for vengeance against their human enemies, searching for revenge against their human enemies. I want to say 99% of the time, it's just, you could use either word. Any questions about those 8 vocabulary words? I think 4, purgatory is quite specific, but all the rest of them are quite useful, and appease is a very common one that you're going to use a lot. Vengeance also is quite common. All of them are common except number 4, purgatory, is a very kind of specific thing, but it was interesting that you know that one now. Let's go to the reading. It is not too long today.